So I hope you enjoyed that first part of the video where I show you how I embossed different images and stuff onto just plain old tissue paper. It's just like that tissue you use to wrap your, your gifts with. And I did a couple of more yesterday after I filmed that. And this one is actually red, cranberry red mixed with some blue, what is it called? Phthalo blue mica powder. And so it gives it that really cool sheen there. And then I did this moth as well in that combination. So I basically mixed a little bit in a little container, so I didn't have like, tons of powder out here. Just made added a little bit of the mica powder to a little bit more of the embossing powder, and then put it over my image. So I also tried this on rice paper. So I want to try and see how well this translates to gluing it down, to see how transparent this rice paper becomes. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm going to use these as for collage, for junk journals, journal pages and stuff like that, tags, ATCs, what have you. Because if you do it correctly, you can glue these down onto, whatever surface you're using, or let's say, for example, a gel print. And with a couple of steps, you will be able to glue it down and the tissue just melts into the background. So let me show you a couple of examples of that. This one is the best example. Okay, so let me see, do I have another one of this gentleman? I do. So this is the same one on tissue, right? And what I did with this one is I wet the back of the tissue paper before I put it down over glue, or actually gloss medium. I use this stuff here. To be honest, not the best, but for this purpose, it works just fine. So I took a brush, brushed some glue, water across here after I got rid of the extra edges. And I had glue laid down, or the medium, and then I put the image over it and gently brushed more medium to get it all down. And you can't see the tissue. You really can't. And this is just a gel print on just copy paper, actually. But look at how great that looks. That came out really well. So if you wanted to use this in a journal page, there you go. How great is that? Or even, if you fold it in. So that's one example. And then now another example I did, it did not work out so well because I could see a lot of the tissue. And I don't know if you can tell in this lighting, you can still see some of it. However, I took colored pencils and I went in and colored all the different areas. I even, added colors that weren't on the original gel print. And this is actually a brayer off sheet with a flop off on there too. So basically what I had done is I used this as a brayer cleaner, and then I took a stencil that was wet, that still had paint on it, and then I just cleaned it off onto this brayer sheet, so flop off. And then I glued down the female portrait here, but I didn't wet the back nearly enough because this tissue was still very, very visible. So, but quick solution is you take your colored pencils and you fill it in and you color over it, and you go at it, but take your time, because you could get it to work. Now here's an example where it worked really, really well when the tissue was still showing. Same with this one. This is the embossed image of one of my new stamps, the Snowflake Kaleidoscope. And it glued down well. There was just too much tissue showing, right? But here's an example where colored pencils are lifesavers. So I went in, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but I went in with colored pencil and matched as best I could to the paint that was on this clean off sheet. This was a failed image transfer that I had some, I don't know why I had all this red paint out, but I swiped it onto the sheet and just, made it more like abstract. But here, I think I did a pretty good job with matching the pencil to the print, so you couldn't really tell that there's tissue under there. So I think that worked out pretty well. Here's another one that was a bit of a failure because, again, I didn't follow those steps, the step of wetting it. However, I did it with this one. Maybe not enough water, because that one still showed. It showed a lot, the tissue. I've colored this in with pencil all around through here and through here, matching up the black lines of the stencil in the background with my black pencil, and then using a red to blend that tissue in. But you could still see here that outline of the tissue. So to begin with, it wasn't the best embossing that I did. This was one of the first ones I was testing out using that stencil. It's actually a mask, whatever, but they are, this one was not, it was like one of the first ones. So it was like, the first pancake, first couple, they're not the best, but they're still good enough. So I kind of just kept it abstract and then added this little bit here. But you can still see the tissue here. So my goal is to try and, do some of these with you so you can see how I achieve it. But my goal is for this so that the tissue blends into the background. You can see a tiny bit here, but that just kind of looks like a highlight to me. I mean, it could even be part of the print, honestly. But, so yeah, and then the other goal was finding gel prints and backgrounds that would work well with the certain things I printed off. But let me show you what I did, not printed off, embossed. So, I have this you saw in the video. I have Carrie's numbers and letters. And by the way, these portraits are available at PM Artist Studio, as well as the stamps I used. But these are Susan Dufresne's. And she designed these and many other stencils on the website. And so these, I believe, are still available. And so I did some of these. I don't think I did the faces on camera. When I edit this, I will see. But basically what I did, I have the masks right here, actually. So basically what I did was I took so this is the front of the stencil, this is the back. So I took the stamping, the embossing, what do you call that stuff? The ink. And then just went over the back as best I could, put it down on the tissue, and then so for example, I did this. Put it down, and then flipped it over gently, and then just rubbed all over to make sure I got enough of that ink onto the tissue, and then went on to emboss it. So, pretty simple, nothing fancy. But these do get a little gooey. I haven't had a chance to wash them, that's why I just put them between tissue for now. Because these take a little bit to wash because they're so delicate. So I want to make sure I have plenty of time to sit and wash those, because I don't want to wreck them. Put it back. So So you saw, I did these on the video, the gold rings, asemic writing. This I did off camera. I tried embossing on this green tissue. Not a fan, but I'll see if it can work, you know. And you did see me do these eyes. And it's funny because it depends on the pressure you put down onto the stamp, because I foam stamped these. These are the same stamp. And I did a stamp here and then stamped here. But this one I pushed down harder on, so I got a fuller looking eye. And then this one is actually more closely to the detail of the stamp. So actually, I'm holding them upside down, but yeah. Let's see what I mean. More detail, but with the extra added pressure, it allowed for more of the embossing fluid to, or the embossing ink to get on the paper, which, you know, picked up that embossing powder. But I like them both. Did some of these. This is another PM Artist Studio stamp. I did these, I believe I did these on camera. These are my unraveling squares. Here's another portrait. I even did a skeleton. This is the skeleton stamp. I showed you that one. This is the funky leaf. And then the new heart stamp that you can get now for free on the website with the purchase of $50 or more. I did this, and then I started messing with it, and I cracked some of it there, but it's okay. I think it'll be fine. So yeah, we've got a few things to play with. But first, I want to show you just how to glue one of these down onto a gel print. I have these. I don't know if anyone's ever seen these. I have a lot of prints that just never made it to like my social media or to makers. You know, just because I just either forgot or just, you know, I just didn't. But these are, this stencil, by the way, is Rune Blocks by Paula Keen. So here, I wanted to use this particular one and put the asemic writing maybe here and here or something like that. But I split it up. The stamp has both rows together, but I split up the tissue, and I'm just going to do one at a time. And let's see how this goes. So, like I said, I'm using gloss gel medium and some water and a brush. But, oh, where's my other brush? I need my medium brush for the medium. Okay, this will be for the gel medium. So that's the back. All right, so I'm just gonna spray my brush actually, and then come in and do my best to get the water down on the tissue without destroying it. Because like I said, this is regular tissue, so this will rip a lot more easily than if I were using a carnival tissue. But the carnival tissue doesn't melt into the background like regular tissue. And well, you need a little medium here, buddy. Okay, come on. You gotta talk to your stuff sometimes, you know. Encourage it. All right, so there's that, and this is the right side. So hopefully I got it onto the glue. Now you see, it's looking like it's gonna melt into the background pretty well, but we won't know till it dries. And they dry pretty quickly though, as long as you're not putting tons of medium on it, which you really don't need tons of. All right, so now we wait. And yeah, honestly, I didn't feel like cutting around each of these little symbols to get a, you know, fussy cut, and no, that wasn't going to happen. Okay, so let's see. Now, see, the first time I did it, I just used the spray bottle. So maybe that's what I'm missing. I'm got to make sure it's thoroughly wet. I don't know. You guys, I learn on, I teach myself stuff, and sometimes I don't pay attention to, you know, the person teaching as well. So kind of, you know, doing my word. All right, let's gently pick this up. And then we can use it. A little piece broke off. That's okay. And, oh no. See, this is what I worry about because I wet the tissue too much, but it works so well on that first, on the portrait one, but it doesn't always work when you want it to, but this is why we keep practicing, right? Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. I don't want to fuss with it anymore. So here we go. And then I have a couple more that I can do. I like to do. So let's see, this one. I had something for this one, and I honestly, oh, I think it was Memento. Yes, I wanted to pull out some of the blue here, so I'm going to use these numbers on here. What do you think? Maybe some here? Well, let's trim this bad boy up. There's a little bit of tissue sticking up around the edges, so I'm just going to go in gently and try and get these little bubbles out and flatten that out as best I can. Just don't want to work it too much because I don't want to rip it. And then maybe something up here. We could do just like maybe half the numbers, a smaller portion of the numbers up there. Not bad. So far, so good. And like I said, worst case scenario, you come in with some color pencil and just do your best to match up your background. Well, that's pretty cool, and I think do something small down here. Got a bee. You do a bee flying off the page or flying towards. I don't know. Let's go ahead and trim this bad boy out, and we can. It's not bad. Not too bad. Now these will kind of curl up a little bit because it is just regular paper, not mixed media paper, but you know, once it's dry, put it under a couple of heavy books and it'll flatten right out for you. Okay. Well, so far this is looking pretty good. Let's check on the other one. This one, not so much, but it's still wet, so Gotta let that dry a little bit more. Now this one's pretty cool. This is one of the portraits, but I don't know if you can tell, but it's black and gold. So I mixed a little black and gold embossing powder and hit it with the heat gun, and it turned out pretty cool. So I thought that this one would look pretty good here. What do we think? I think that'll be good. Let me get my scissors. All right, dude. Well, you're gonna dry, and I'm going to go on to another one. Okay, let this sit over here. Now, I do want to get this purple skull, purplish skull down onto something. Just gotta find a print that'll go with it. Do it on this side. So I was going to use that as a page in a book. Maybe up here. You know what? I'm going to do it. Gonna do it. Push that out. That's okay though. I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I think this one I'm gonna go ahead and give a little attention to with the heat gun as well. The reason I have this board out is because when I do use the colored pencil, it's a better surface than the silicone matte. And let's see here. So this is the very first one. I'm gonna go ahead and just get some of this paper off here. That can come off. I'm gonna hit it with the heat gun. I just want to test something out. Well, I think maybe part of the reason that this one worked really well was the use of the heat gun, because what it does is it reheats the embossing powder. And so I think that also helps to just push that tissue into the background more. I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but that's what I'm going with. And then there's this one. Look at that. The bee turned out really good. Almost no work needed there. So these are almost dry. I'm going to let them dry just a little bit more. And maybe come into this one. Let's see if I can get that yellow blended out with the tissue. So I've got this. This is just yellow Crayola. Of that. Yeah, it's working. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Let's get to work on this one. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because of the paint color. So I got to look through my blues. And let's see what I can come up with. So this is, no, this is a gray. That's not going to work. No. That one, it's close, but it's still too bright. That's going to be a toughie. I'm going to look at my watercolor pencils and see if I might have something there, because I may. And that color, that's sort of, I think that's Arctic blue. Let's see here. Now, where are my greens? This might be the closest. Emerald green light. Let's try it out. And these are my Hippie Crafter watercolor pencils that I really have grown to really love. They're very handy. And we said emerald green light. They might be in the next tray down. Yeah, so you get all these awesome colors of watercolors, and they work fantastic. So the info for these will be in the description box, as well as the other stuff I use. Not too bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So, what is next? Let me take a look at this one. Yeah, this one's going to need some work for sure. Try and straighten that out. I got to find a color that's going to go with this sort of it's like a dark mustardy, ambery color. And I'm going to start with first with my colored pencils. This is, oh, these don't have names on them. then I think I did a pretty good job on this one. I'll come back to it later, look at it again, but I think it's pretty good. All right. So, oh, there was this one here. So this one, the bee is looking like pretty freaking perfect. And so is this one. Really, there's a little bit here on the edges. So I'm going to try and go around some of these bits here. But it's looking pretty good. This one's pretty good too. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's good. Now, you see these edges here? That's from the actual punchinella that I used on the gel print. So that's not, you know, that's part of the print. But I think we did a pretty good job. I do so myself. So it's just another great way to enhance a gel print, add some more texture to it, add, you know, stuff that you know, oh man, I wish I could have done this. And you know what? There you go. That's how you do it. So we've got our gentleman here, my favorite one here, and this skeleton turned out pretty good. I think I have a little areas here to touch up, but otherwise, I think that's pretty cool. We have the print with the asemic writing on it, and I don't know, I'm not crazy about it, but I don't hate I don't hate it. So I guess that's important. And these are the other ones that I worked on. Remember this one I did a lot of penciling in. This young lady. This one was actually a lot of fun to fill in and pencil. I kind of try to give it some shading. And then this one, the more abstract one, the first one I did that didn't turn out so hot. But I can still make it work and use it, and maybe I'll come back in with something else. Maybe do some more embossing, but use the pen and just add a little bit more of the black. I don't know. We'll see. But I think that's I think it's a great way to add something extra to your gel prints, and then and then enhance them further. Plus, if you pre-make these, they don't take up much room. You see, I mean, this is not going to take up much space at all. It's a very thin pile. And a lot of times you'll get this tissue for free. Maybe it's packaging, maybe it's a gift. You know, you might have some in your closet. So check it out. Get your embossing powders out and have a blast. So you can, pre-make these, put them in a nice container or envelope that's going to keep them nice and flat and clean. And there you go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today and doing some coloring, some gluing, and embossing. So I hope you give it a try, and let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out the info in the description box of this video that has the link to different supplies that I've used today, plus the pencils, the colored watercolor pencils from Hippie Crafter. And right now, if you go to hippiecrafter.com, your first purchase can be even cheaper, because if you use my code HIPPIE10, HIPPIE10, 10. You get 10% off your first purchase. So that's through hippiecrafter.com. Okay, and they have some other great supplies there. These mica powders are theirs, and I'll hopefully be doing a video soon showcasing ways to use this mica powder. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.